Man, it was so much fun jamming out with all my friends on the musical instruments over there. There was about 5 of us there. There was my friend Trans Am Bill, Jody Jean, Country Boy, and Country Demon. So they're pretty awesome. They all don't have YouTube channels, but I figured I'd just give them a shout out. And I have to give a special thanks to Jody Jean, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have been able to do this build. This build is going to have a voiced over the clip tour because I've got to have my mic on when I gave the tour initially. So we're just going to go ahead and run with the punches. So the lore behind this build, guys, is the fact that my character, Scott Riley, who is a part of Task Force Ghost, has slowly been breaking down a little bit. Him and Commander Dagare and Sophia have came on over to this area near Vault 76 down the road from the Ray Ward and the lumber mill, and found this truck, and we were going to start repairing it up for the Blue Ridge Caravan, and we're going to start using it to transfer things over. He is slowly starting to lose his sanity, but is still trying to hold it together. Commander Dagare is really trying to help out with that, and so far she's doing an alright job. But he's slowly losing his mind and starting to become in tune with the wildness. So right here is all of our vendors. We have 4 vendors. It's really nice because whenever I'm playing with my friends I mentioned, we're all like down this road. There's like 4 or 5 of us, so all the newbies and all the high level players see this group and they all come over here. Jody came up with the ideas for the steps right here, and if you come up here you can see that it's all carpeted down. And we have all these punji boards, which all my friends keep on hitting and getting like tetanus and getting like diseases and stuff, but I never run into them, so it's whatever. The whole point of this build is to give like that Mad Max zombie like crushing car vibe, where we're just running through things and that we're well protected while we're delivering things. The light right here gives us a good look while we're working on things, and the tire right there is one of the tires we're going to be putting on the front, as the front 2 tires are missing. We have turrets built into the motor bay, and we have two generators that act as engines with this high-powered light that lets us see at night. It's very nice. The back trailer portion was built using the shelving units and the magazine unit right there, as well as these weapon wall racks that we used to cover up where the gaps were on the magazine racks whenever we glitched them into place. We used the sinking glitch in order to glitch them into place. We also put down the metal cabinets that are in the stash box section, which helped cover up the back. We couldn't cover up the wood on the front. The glitching just didn't work and allow us to do that, but we used these electrical signs to cover up the gaps on the back right here to make it seem like this has all been welded together, which helps out really nicely. We have the weighted workbench right here behind the vehicle because there's nowhere else to put it, and I wanted to have it a part of the camp, and I just feel like that's a good spot. We have all the musical instruments right here, as you guys saw, which was really nice, and the punch bowl right there on the table with the jack-o'-lantern because it's Halloween time. The punch bowl is usually filled with Nuka Shine because, you know, it's fun to give new players a different starting area. It could screw them over, though. The 2 posters right there for the Sheep Squatch and the party is to help give newbies the questing. We didn't put the tadpole poster up because it's kind of, I don't know, I didn't like it, and also I don't feel like it's a good quest for newbies to start off with, although Sheep Squatch quest, I guess, isn't really that much either. We have our power armor station right there when we're moving on. Sorry, this is a voiceover, so you can see that I'm talking in the video, but my voice isn't being recorded because of the PlayStation. We use the beer barrel fridge to help add junkiness to next to that ice cooler, and here we have our garage, which is filled with all the workbenches except for the alcohol ones, just because I don't like them. I'm never using the brewing stand or the fermenting station. We use the Brotherhood of Steel scrap bot, since I don't have any of them but the Brotherhood of Steel one and the Communist one, which kind of sucks, but there's nothing I can do about it. We have the scrap box, our toolbox, and a locker, armor workbench on the right, weapons workbench right there. We have Commander Daggeray's console right here, as she's still trying to communicate back with the satellite array that you saw in the last video. The little ice cooler right there, and just all around, feels like a very lived-in environment. I forgot that he glitched out right there and started doing a little 360 dancing. But all in all, the environment here feels very lived in. I have the Mr. Pebbles poster here again, like in the last camp, because it helps remind her of space. And it's such an adorable little cat poster in a spacesuit. How can you not love that? I'm just going to let my character move, past Scarecrow move forward as we move towards the next location, which I believe we head over to where the campfire is at. The campfire just serves as a nice little area where we all can sit around at and just enjoy telling stories of the wasteland and stuff while we try to fix up this place. It also allows, you know, new travelers from Vault 76 to take a pit stop and relax. The cabin right there that I'll end up showing is meant to be a temporary home, and just when the semi-truck is finally moved out and everything, in my head canon, I imagine that they end up newbies and new people will end up using that space as a new area, and build it up to make it like a fortified, like little safe haven. Right here, this house, I have to give credit to Jody for her help on the decorating and everything. She really helped and nailed it. She's a mistress of mystery when it comes to building interiors, and she does a really fine job with decorating stuff that I can't do. So I have to give credit where credit is due. She did a great job. She glitched in that TV, but she's done a phenomenal job on everything. The kitchen, which you guys will see in a second, looks just great. I have wall hanging weapons right up there above the little on the archway. I have a black powder rifle and one of my very first weapons from when I was a low level. So if I go ahead and walk you guys through all of this, you guys will see how nice the kitchen is. It has the beer barrel fridge because I don't have the regular fridge yet. It has that oven with the candle in it. It looks so gorgeous. I wish you could get the wood stove one to have it in there. There's a lot of minor stuff that she did to help bring it all together. I'm really happy with how it's all turned out. We have the American flag and the Blue Ridge flag on the back above the bed. And we have the sink right there with the chemistry station. Bear painting, a nice view out the window. Wall scorings for lightings because we wanted that warm lighting glow. We didn't want a bright white light. It's meant to give like that cozy cabin feel. And I'm very happy with how it turned out. The radio right there is meant to act like an alarm clock of sorts, quote unquote. We have a terminal at that desk right there to let Commander Daggeray, play her holotape games. It's just meant to give that home feel and make it feel like this is something that is possible in, the Fallout world, because with Fallout 76, it's a little bit weird to me because, you figure after 200 years in Fallout 4, they would have just as nice buildings in Fallout, like in Fallout 76, but instead you have Diamond City that's built up with all the scrap metal, and you have like Megaton in Fallout 3, and just all in all, it's just, I try to build things that make sense lore-wise. I don't think I'd end up painting up houses and stuff and, trying to make it look all nice. I think I'd be trying to throw things together and trying to, just build something that makes sense in my head for the lore, because I don't think I would take time to paint walls of my houses up to make things look super, super nice. I think I would be taking time to, make things as fortified as possible. And the bear painting right there and those mess hall signs and everything, that's all stuff that you can scavenge and just put up in the meantime. It's just, I get annoyed whenever I see, perfectly painted and cleaned houses, because it just doesn't feel like Fallout to me. So, and I get it for some people, it's like, well, I want my place to look nice, I'm gonna make sure it's all painted and clean, But when you play Fallout 4 and Fallout 3, and even the older Fallouts like Fallout 1 and 2, where you go like to New Reno and what was it called? What's the first location you go? Shady Sands. Like even there's buildings are just shacks thrown together and stuff. There's not like very nice. And New Reno is supposed to be one of the nicer, quote unquote, nicer places because it's a gambling horror house. But I'm just trying to go on a little tangent here. Just explain to me that I want to see more junky builds like this, where people, it seems more plausible with how you build things, that it makes sense for the Fallout universe. But I guess, you know, if in West Virginia, even though there's the Scorched Beast and the Scorched Plague going on, you know, there's a lot more wood here, and people can build things out of that. You know, there's not a whole lot of metal like in the Commonwealth or in DC. So I guess people can use actual trees and stuff to cut down and make lumber out of, like in Foundation. And with the Wayward, I guess they could have moved those buildings there. Just for me, it just felt like they were... It feels a little too neat and tidy. And it doesn't feel like the Wasteland. It doesn't feel like the Apocalypse to me, unless I go to one of those areas where it's like heavily irradiated, like the Ash Heap, or, you know, the Toxic Valley. But that's all I gotta say. I don't really have a good outro piece right here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give an outro while looking at the truck. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. My next video, I'm thinking about making a combat arena gambling hall strip club type mesh deal, which I think will be really cool, and it gives me... I really think that would be really cool to have. I want to do like weekly fights there and just have like consistent combat. And eventually I'm going to make this character right here where I have, you know, arena fights where a theme of the week where I grab like a viewer or two and have us do like a brawling match to the death or something, and then have another character where I do my camp building, which is what I'm probably going to end up doing. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, and to keep updated with all my videos, you know how to find me by ringing that notification bell. I hope you all enjoy. Bye.